Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. This is Karen McNall, and I am with InspiredDaisies.com. I hope you guys had a great weekend. It finally snowed again in Vermont, so we were very happy about that. But come Wednesday, I think pretty much the whole half of the country is going to be under some kind of weather issue. So make sure you be safe out there and take good care of yourself and your family. So again, welcome to my channel, and we will be making a few different cards tonight, and I'll be using the Perennial Lavender paper. It's just gorgeous. I'm going to be going over it with you in just a few seconds. I'm just going to wait until people come on. Just give a couple minutes to get that algorithm for YouTube going. So it's all about the algorithm, right? All right, so if you're watching tonight, make sure you let us know where you're watching from. We always like to know where people are coming from. And even if you're watching the replay, please shoot us a comment. It's greatly appreciated. I'm just fixing some stuff here that's a little crooked. All right, looks like that is not any better. So let me just fool around with this a little bit. A little bit better here. Okay, so again, we're going to be going over my free with a purchase offering for the first half of January. And then we're going to be making the Perennial Lavender cards that I just emailed out. We'll be making 2 of them. And if I have time at the end, I'm going to put together the sampler sheet that I use and make when we have new designer papers. So welcome aboard. It looks like we've got Carla, Alice, and Kathleen on. So thanks very much for coming on. All right, so I'm going to get started. Let's see. I'm sitting down tonight, which is good, but my chair squeaks. So hopefully it won't be too bad and I won't move around a lot. But okay, so let's see. I have a card kit special going on with us with my host code. Everything, by the way, can be found on my website, which is inspiredbygraham.com. And I'm getting close to be working with my new website developer. So we are going to have a new website probably in another month. So it's going to be a little bit more user friendly. So right now, anything that I'm offering will be on the right sidebar, unless I can post a blog about it. Sometimes I can't do that. A lot of times I can't do that just because I don't have time. But that's where you can find everything. My ordering special, card club, Inspired Daisies joining our team, Paper Pumpkin, you name it. It's all on that right sidebar. Okay, so the free with a purchase is this little kit here. So I can't remember what the free embellishment was. It might have been just a free embellishment, but I didn't have a chance to look it up, and I don't remember. But anyway, you'll get to make 1 of each of these projects here. We're using the cow. I mean, how cute is this cow, right? And I got my blending brushes out first time in such a long time. I used the Cloud Punch, and this was all basic white. And then I did some sponging and I created some clouds in different colors. So it's a mix of Pool Party and a little bit of green in there. And then I used a little bit of green down here. Not too much because that's kind of the grass right there. And these cows are so cute. I used to live on a dairy farm, so I kind of know not a lot about cows, but I know that that's a Holstein, by the way, white and black cows. They produce white milk. All cows produce white milk, not chocolate milk. But anyway, that's a Holstein. We don't have gray cows, so I don't know what that is, but it's super fun. On the inside, I designed these kind of cute and simple. All the stamping is from the Cutest Cows stamp set. So it comes in a stamp set and a punch, and I just kind of carried that to the envelope. The next one is my favorite card. It's Your Special Day. We're using the gingham ribbon, so you'll get enough ribbon to make this little wrap around here. And here's another Holstein cow with those cute little sunflowers, I'll call them. I used, I think it was Calypso Coral for this, the coloring. And then Wild Wheat is for the center. And then I kind of get this a little crooked, but I just used a die cut from the Countryside Corners dies. It kind of, when you're using smaller die cuts, you're saving paper, so basic way. And a lot of people don't have a lot to write inside of a card, so I've been kind of making them more with die cuts lately. And then here's the coordinating flower on the envelope. These are also my team's make and takes. We have a meeting this coming Wednesday on Zoom, or if you're local to me, you can always come to my house. So we will be going over all 4 of these projects. And then this is kind of a fun fold card. So it kind of goes like this, and then you've got 3 little panels in there. This is just a flat piece of pecan pie. So it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I've got the basics embossing folder here, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I don't know if it's really hard to see that tone on tone, but then we just have some white in there and scored it evenly. And then we just kind of added the Stylish Shapes dies with this little cute little chick. And there's another cow there. So super fun. And then we used our blends. So as most of us know, when you use blends, the coloring goes all the way through. So to fix that on the back side, what I did was I just added a piece of the coordinating designer paper to cover up all of that, like kind of, I call it a hot mess because it doesn't look all that great. But no one will ever know that I colored and the ink went through. Because Stampin' blends, you always need to have something underneath your project because it does seep through. Now, if it went on this glass here, the Glass Mat Studio, then you can just wipe it off. So anyway, that's how this one goes. And I've got the coordinating little chicks on the corner there. And I did use Stampin' blends, and you can use them on your envelopes. It did not seep through, as you can see, because we've got 2 layers of white there. But if you color really lightly and not hard, the pressure, then you should be okay with that. So again, those were in Stampin' blends. Okay, and then here's a 3D project here. It's got a Nutri-Grain bar in it, but this is about the only thing I could find other than my paper pumpkin block that would fit in here that I had actually in my house for snacks. But I don't really like how I colored this. It's like a light, what did I use? Pumpkin pie. So I would change that again, but it's just got some coloring on it, and it really does like, it's just like, it's there. You can see it. It doesn't get lost in all the packaging here. So this is super easy to make. The hardest thing I found with this is just wrapping around the gingham ribbon. And of course, I had my little, hey, did you notice I don't have my glove on today like I did before? So I lost all my bandages. Last ones came off today, so I have no more glove. It's really fun not to have to craft with that thing on my hand. But anyway, I got sidetracked there. But super cute to use. This would be great for craft fairs. You can mass produce these really, really easily. Just do one step at a time, and it uses minimal supplies. So there's crumb cake cardstock on here. And then we've got some of the designer paper that is free during celebration, the Flight and Airy, and then just a little bit of white, basic white cardstock, and really a little bit of ribbon, some sparkle, and then you're good to go. So super quick and easy project. So I might be doing this one for a craft fair. Scheduled to do a craft fair on February 10th in Waterbury. So those local to me, I'd love to see your faces stop by. It's at the Crosset Brook Elementary or Middle School in Waterbury. I don't know if they're together. I've actually been to that school before with my youngest son when he was playing AAU or mini metro basketball. So I've been there once. Nice gym. Okay, so that is your free with a purchase. And again, you can get all that information on my website, inspiredbygraham.com. If you're not on my email list, well, you missed out on my emails that I've been sending out. So if you go to the website, a little pop-up window will appear, and then you can just sign up to be on my email list. I don't like send out a ton of emails. It might be a little bit more frequent when we're introducing a mini catalog like we are, and especially during celebration in the joining Stampin' Up! Special that's going on. This Glass Mat Studio is one of the things you can get for free with joining between now and February 29th. I'm sorry about the glare. It's hard to video and do this kind of thing live because the lights shine on it. So I'll try to keep something on it. We haven't been able to figure out a way to change that up because we want to see the glass. We want to work on the glass, but then us demonstrators that are on videos and do YouTube or just pre-recorded videos, we're just having a hard time with that. So we'll figure it out eventually. But let me go over Card Club with you. I just announced that, I think it was last night. Yeah, it was last night. It was late, around 10 o'clock. So if you missed my email and you're on my email list, then anyway, we can you can order this and be part of Card Club. It's $39.95 per month, and we will be making 8 cards, and we'll be making 8 or 2 of each design. This is the one I might change up tonight. I'm going to need your help on this one, but it uses I forgot to grab the dies because I can't remember the name of this die. Hold on just a second. Let's see if I can find it. I'm coming. Hold on. Everything's on my desk over here. It's actually neatly organized, but it's just underneath some things. So just bear with me here. Okay. We got the sparkle gems. Those are really pretty, by the way. 3 different colors. Okay, so this is the die that cut out this little circle with those little cute, like a wreath kind of thing, but not. These are all the dies I'm using in Card Club this month. There's a lot. But don't worry, you don't have to die cut them out. Now, I didn't find my dies, but if anybody has these, they can put that in the comment section. I will have all the supplies I used tonight in the description box a little bit later tonight. But anyway, this die is really, really pretty, and I might change up the white on it. Just not sure yet. And then these are all the new dies that we'll be working with as well. So lots of different sets I'm working with for this Card Club. So again, you'll be making 2 of these. The hardest thing for me was to stamp "Thank you for your friendship." I didn't realize it's just about 1/4 of an inch on the sentiment. So I cut, my first try at it was I cut the strip a little bit too high, or width is too much. So I trimmed it down to, I think it was 3/8 of an inch, and that works perfectly. So that's card number 1. On the inside, this is what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be spritzing butterflies. And then I really love this Card Club. If you love purple, this is for you, by the way. All right, so that's one of the designs. The next design is this one here. I wanted to do 2 cards with the butterfly, paper butterfly accents, and then 2 that didn't have those on there, just so you can kind of see the paper a little bit more. But this is a thank you card. I can't thank you enough. And this butterfly here is spritzed in Starry Sky, which is one of the coordinating colors in the Perennial Lavender paper. I did on every single butterfly, and any kind of image on the front is all sparkled with Wink Stella. And then here's the envelope. Just used a piece of scrap. And then I did add, here's this gorgeous grape. I'm saying it's really gorgeous because it is. And the color is gorgeous grape. Here's one of the larger die cuts being used in this one. It comes in the bundle. And then here's another one of those little butterflies and lightly spritzed in Starry Sky. And I did put a little gem on here from, these are called, and you need to have these in your craft room. They're called the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And if you're in Card Club, you will be getting a full pack of these. So don't go out and order those. If you're in Card Club, you'll be receiving a pack. And I've already ordered them. So if you're coming on to Card Club a little bit later, I'll do my best. I think I ordered a couple packs of these extra just in case. I did have some new Card Club subscribers. But so that is number 2. I did use some of this vellum. Did you guys know we have vellum? It's 12 by 12. And I have, I did a paper share earlier when we had the annual catalog out. But I'm using it for the January Card Club. I found it and I'm like, wait, what is this? And it's called the Vellum Basics. It's 12 by 12. And there's 6 sheets in the pack. So I really don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, I guess you can. So this is kind of like a foliage print. Okay, and then one side is brighter than the other. So that's one print. And then we have polka dots for another one. And let's see what else we have some stripes, diagonal stripes. So depending on how many die cuts I need to cut, some of the card clubs will come with the foliage, some will have the polka dots, and some will have the diagonals as well. I just can't go out and just use one sheet of the same design because that's kind of crazy. So then I'd be just left with dots and diagonals. Anyway, and plus you get to use it and see the different patterns as well. So this one does have the vellum underneath the Highland Heather, and this is stamped in Gorgeous Grape. I like to use a little bit darker color for sentiments just because I want it to pop and not get lost in the color of, like, this is the die cut label. If I was to go Highland Heather with Highland Heather, you probably are not going to see this as much. So that's why I always go with like a darker color. Okay, and then here's the envelope. I think I already showed you the inside. Yes, I did. Okay, so that's another design. You'll get to make 2 of these. And then I brought out the dies that go with a Quiet Meadow stamp set. Because on this designer paper here, I kind of thought that, not this one so much, but these 2 resembled some of the foliage in the background. So I've got Blackberry Bliss, Gorgeous Grape, and Pretty Peacock as my colors there. And then I use the Nested Essentials dies. I haven't used this one very much. And I was really struggling with, I needed to use a die because I didn't want to use something white because then it would be too much white. The word loved is kind of a lot higher than the rest of the "you are beyond measure." So I went to my little die. I have a bunch of dies on my desk on magnet sheets so I can visually see them and what I have for in my stock. And I gravitated toward this one, and it's a perfect fit. So this one is stamped in Blackberry Bliss. That's one of my favorite colors, Blackberry Bliss. And here's the Blackberry Bliss cardstock. So 2 of these. And then on this one, I just layered designer series paper on top of a designer series paper, 2 different patterns just to create that and use up some scraps. And then this is another card that we'll be making tonight. I'm going to start with this one, sending love and best wishes your way. This one is embossed, and I don't know if you can see this. It is the Painted Poppies 3D embossing folder, and you'll see what it looks like when I'm making the card. It is like, I've never used it until last night, and I don't know why. But now you'll probably see this a little bit more. The detail in it, it's 3D, so it is just amazing, the detail in this. And for my embossed panels, I usually run 2 sheets of cardstock through I have an electric die cutting machine, just because the amount of die cutting I do is huge, and I can't crank, because guess what? I'll get carpal tunnel again. So, and I don't want that again. So I used an electric one, and here's the embossing folder. Again, it's a 3D, and it's one of those really thick ones. Okay, so you'll have to figure out your sandwiches in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but you have to run it through. So usually we run our folded edge in the machine first, so that means your flowers are kind of sideways, but you get a lot. There's like almost 6 inches here of flowers. So I'll show you that on the card tutorial. Let's see, let me just get these back because I want to stay organized as much as I can. If you have any questions regarding Stampin' Up, Inspired Daisies, my card club, anything, just put that comment in the comment box. I'll try to take a look at that after every single card project. All right, so let me just grab the cards that we're going to be making here, and I'll put these aside. All right, so I'm going to start out with the easier one first, and then I'm going to go with this one because I'm going to be spritzing on this one, and I don't know what it's going to do because I have never spritzed on the glass. And before I came on live, I used my glass here was a huge hot mass of adhesive, the liquid glue adhesive. All I had to do, and this has just got water on it. This is like the chamois that you get. And right before I clean my stamps, and that's your Blackberry Bliss, Lost Lagoon, or Pretty Peacock. All I did, and I'm sorry if this is shaking, was use water on the adhesive on this glass. And I had so much adhesive on here, I had to clean it for you guys. But it came clean just like that. So if I was to use my desk, I would need to scrub and scrub and scrub and use special rubbing alcohol just to get off the liquid glue. So I love this, and I wish my whole desk was like all glass now, because this would definitely save me some supplies, cleaning supplies. But I'm going to just fold this up. It does dry. Once it's dry, it's stiff as a board. But I use one of my Stampin' cases that Stampin' Up sells, and I don't close it all the way. Usually I'll just snap one of these. That way there's a little bit of air that can get in there, and it doesn't get moldy over time, because this will stay wet for quite a long time, or at least part of it anyway. Okay, so we're going to get started. Well, this is the card we're going to make. And let me, get a little comfortable here and grab my kits, which are off to the side. Okay, hopefully I have everything here. I tried to get everything here, but I had to work today. Usually I don't work my day job on Mondays, but my coworker who replaced my position full-time has COVID. So I am working today, and I'm going to work again tomorrow, and then she'll be back in the office on Wednesday. So I thought I would be a team player like I always am, and help out the office, because she had been out since morning of Thursday. She just kind of like, I guess, got super sick at work and had to leave. So we have 2 people with COVID in the town hall, so they both got it on the same day, so they'll both be back on Wednesday, and I'm glad I'm not going to be around until next week. Okay, so I just noticed one thing. Did I grab the wrong one? Hold on. I think I grabbed I grabbed the wrong kit. So let me just move this up to the side and I am going to grab the right one. Gorgeous Grape. Okay, so I got 2 cards here. There's the same thing, but when I create a class, I always make my card, write my instructions, and then I test my instructions. So that's why I always have 2 cards. Okay, here we go. So we have Gorgeous Grape, and it's 8.5 by 5.5. I've already pre-scored it with my my Stampin' trimmer, which I love because you got your cutting blade and your scoring blade all in the same one. So I'm just going to burnish that. And next up is that embossed panel, which is gorgeous. And I'm going to bring this up to the camera and I hope you can see it. Yeah, I think you can see it. And then this is the embossed side, which is, it's raised towards you. And then this is the debossed side. So you can use whatever side you want for your embossed panels. Sometimes the debossed side looks better than the embossed, but for this card, I'm definitely going to be using the embossed side just because it's just so gorgeous. So got a new bottle of glue. That's kind of why I think my glass was so messy. It's because I had a new bottle. Okay, so I've got my Gorgeous Grape on top of the Gorgeous Grape. And let me just slide this down. Don't have my contacts in today. I have my regular glasses because my eyes were tired. So let's see. I'm just going to give that an extra second to dry just because that embossed image is really embossed high. It's a little bit different than some of our embossing folders. Okay, so that is our first step, super easy. And then we've got some basic white, and then we have a strip of the Perennial Lavender paper. And with Card Club, just because I used this design doesn't mean you need to use that design. I just use the paper that gravitates towards me. You could certainly use this side, but I don't know as if it would go with a Gorgeous Grape as much, but you can mix your paper up too. With this Card Club, I was able to add 9 extra sheets of cardstock. And I'm not sure what colors I ordered. I think I ordered one of every single color that's in this paper, and we'll go over that towards the end if I have time. So you'll get one sheet, I think, of every color. There's 9 sheets that are coming. Oh, actually, I think there's 10 colors, so one won't come to you. I was able to fit in 9. Okay, so this was 2 by 5.5, and then the white is, no, actually this is 1 3/4 by 5.5, and then this is 2 by 5.5. So it's going to go edge to edge, and I don't know if I wanted to do that. It should have been 5 1/4. So let me grab my Stampin' trimmer off the wall. Okay, I'm going to fix that just real quick. I like our Stampin' trimmer because it has this little hole here. Usually I have a hook on my wall, but I actually decided to add this twine to it, and now I use one of those, what are those things that kind of like go on your wall that stick, and then you can peel them off, and it's not supposed to peel your paint. Well, I can tell you what, in my craft room, everyone I've taken off my wall has peeled my paint down to the sheetrock. So I'm not very happy with that. So I don't know if it was the cheap paint that I used when I repainted this room 4 years ago or what, but I don't think it was cheap paint because I bought some really good paint, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay, I do notice I don't have Stampin' Dimensionals. That's one thing I forgot. Okay, I'm going to use up this little sheet and then we'll go to a brand new piece. All right, with this one, I am going to raise up this panel here just because it's super embossed, and I like the to get this panel a little bit higher than normal. So we're just gonna add some of these pieces on the edges because they work perfect. And then we'll press those down, and I'm just gonna peel these off really quickly. I found a Stampin' Dimensional backing in my car today. I wonder how that got there. The funniest place I've ever found one is actually in a Stampin' Up! Shipment, my last shipment that I received, I think it was last week, and there was one in the box. And there was nothing open. So that was kind of like probably static electricity that made that happen. But that one came all the way from Utah. Okay, so that's super pretty so far. The next thing we're going to do is let's do some stamping. And these are the dies that come with the Perennial Lavender. They are the postage, let's see, I'm using the Perennial Postage Bundle for Card Club, and it's on page 23 of your mini catalog if you have yours handy. It's this right here. I have not made my template yet just because I haven't had time, but I will so you can see it on future videos as well. Super nice die set. Kind of the only thing I don't like is it's a little like I call rough. I guess I'm just used to the scallop contours dies. And this looks like a postage stamp anyway, so I think that's what they were trying to do on that. Okay, I'm using Gorgeous Grape, color I haven't used in a long time. And then the Sending Love and Best Wishes, I have that mounted on I think this is a C block. Yes, a C block, one of my favorite blocks. And let me just probably get my head in the camera. Okay, I just kind of stamped that okay. All right, and there's enough room over here for that little bow we're going to be adding on. I did forget to tell you, stamp towards the left side, so we have enough room there. I'm going to close this one up. And then this here is going to have 4 dimensionals on the back of it. We're going to even get this one higher than the strip layer. Okay. I'm a little bit faster with my hands, except for my hand does hurt like right in here for some reason. And this is an incision right there. You can barely see it. But my muscles in my hands are very sore for some reason. I think I need to call the doctor and just make sure that's supposed to be normal. My doctor, actually, the surgeon, was just, they did a little article on her on the Facebook page, I think, or no, the local newspaper, where she does this ultrasonic carpal tunnel release. I think she's like the only one in the area that does it, and she's been highly successful with it. So, all right, that's this one so far. And now I thought it kind of needed something. So we're going to grab that like glitter ribbon we've had. It's in the annual catalog. And I'm just going to take my piercing tool here and just kind of grab that glue dot and push it underneath the knot. I believe we will be making every single bow for you this month because I did not include any ribbon, so we could actually have some cardstock to go and expand our card club. So I believe we will be adding these on to the shipment because this is kind of like it's all kind of like stringy, and I wouldn't want that to get all messed up in the shipping. So I believe those will be already put on there. I don't know if Debbie's watching or not, but that's going to be one of your jobs. She comes over on Wednesdays to help me out, but she'll be coming Thursday and possibly Friday, depending on the weather and if she can get up my driveway. Okay, so I just trimmed down those tails there to make it a little bit smaller. And then the inside, I have just a piece of designer paper that we're going to just add here. It's the same pattern that I have on the front strip. But if I didn't have that same pattern, I would just try to find something that I have excess and add it to the card, because lots of our designer series paper does coordinate so nicely, all the sheets. So sometimes it doesn't even matter if you use the same design or not. It's still going to look great. All right, I'm going to just cut this little piece off so I can get a nice clean edge. Okay, and then we're just going to add some more glue to this back side. Typically I use Stampin' Seal for my whites, but it's been on back order for a long time, and same with Seal Plus. It's coming next week, so I just need to order some more. Okay, so that looks really pretty. We're going to finish it off with those gems. Again, they're called the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And there's Blackberry Bliss, Gorgeous Grape, and Highland Heather as the different colors. And what I did was, when I put, oops, sorry about that, my pen just dropped. When I'm adding embellishments to the embossed panels, I try to find some areas that are flat and where there's no embossing. And that's where I'll put my largest or any of my embellishments. So I want to put one over there on that Gorgeous Grape area. And then I'm just going to take another small one and just kind of find an area over here that's got lots of the crumb cake coloring. That way I'm going to try to form my triangle. Remember, don't put your embellishment straight up and down or across, because it's not pleasing to your eye. If you do that, then your eyes are going to gravitate to the embellishments. So I'll just try to show you what I mean on that. So if I was to put it here, then your embellishments and your eyes are probably going to be taken away from here and go up to the embellishment. So try to create your triangles and also use odd numbers. So I'm just going to put one right here. So then I've got a triangle that goes this way. Okay, and if you can see that. And then the last thing I want to do is, or next to the last thing I want to do is I'm going to put a strip of the designer paper, the same pattern, on my envelope. And I saw that one of my team members sent me a card. I don't know if Teresa's on here tonight. Sometimes she's got things going at night, but I got a card in the mail today from Teresa, and she had a strip of paper on her envelope. And it was perfectly fine. It came not ripped or anything. Or no nasty notes from the post office. What you do want to do is make sure you don't have anything over the edges. Just kind of put your finger along it, and if there's something that you can feel, and I totally put that on the wrong side because I'm talking and not paying attention, then just trim it off with your paper snips. But I'll still mail this one out upside down because I know we can't have anything over here. So I know the post office won't like that. So I'll just send this one upside down. Okay, then now the last thing I wanted to do was I'm going to add some glitz, and that is my splattering of the Wink of Stella. And I try to be kind of consistent in any of the cards I do. So if 3 of them have Wink of Stella, then I am going to make sure I splatter some Wink of Stella on this one. And that one is kind of empty. So let me just go to another one. Okay, So you won't be able to see it, but I can see where it's a little sparkly, and that just adds a little touch to your card front. Okay, so if there's any questions, let me know on this one. So that's the one I made with you. And then this one here. And then here's this one as well. This one has different designer paper on it. If you can see, this pattern has those white, I don't know the names of them. It looks like Queen Anne's lace. That's what I'll call it. And this pattern does not. It's got, oh, what are those things called? I have some in my garden, but they're I know Alice, you'll know what they are. But anyway, those are the 3 cards. I've got 3 envelopes. The other thing I wanted to make sure you know is that if you are selling your cards, make sure you have some kind of Stampin' Up! Copy rule on the back side. So I do have a stamp that's a little bit older stamp, but it's called the Angel Policy Stamp. And that's got the copyright Stampin' Up! On it, which is at the very, very bottom. And let me just put this on there so I don't have to go back and do it. So I'll be selling cards at the craft fair I'm in February. So all my cards have that on there. So I am good to go. Okay, so those 3 cards are done. And next we're going to go to the one that will be spritzed. So I got to make sure my area is very, very clean for this one. Don't want anything on the glass because we're going to spritz on the glass. I've never done it. I've never spritzed on the glass. So let's see what kind of mess we can make. I don't want to say it's messy or a mess because crafting is always fun. And I said I might change this one up. So I want to just kind of experiment a little bit with you and maybe we can figure it out together. That's the wrong kit. Let's see, which one do I have? Okay, that's the one. So when I made this card club, I really struggled on the white. Where's my sample? Oh, where did I put it? Oh man, it's probably in here. Hold on. Yeah, right here. So this is the one we're going to be making. So I really struggled with what I knew I wanted to use this die, but it doesn't have, like, it doesn't cut around. So it's one of those that just cuts in like the middle of your paper and then you got to do something with it. So I just decided I would go with white because we have so much purple going on, but I did think my first thought was Gorgeous Scrape. I don't know. I'm going to check this out and see how it goes with either, I want to spritz the white, and I also want to add this one. Maybe I'm going to kind of just lay them on top so we can kind of see what they look like and then decide or you can decide for yourself which one you like. So the spritzing is going to be the envelopes, not the envelope, the little paper butterflies. I've got to keep this all together here. And so I'm going to spritz this white, these butterflies. I do have an extra white that in case this doesn't work, I can gravitate to. So on this card, I have one of the butterflies. This one comes white, and you can leave it white if you wanted to, but I thought that was just too much white. Now, if I used the Gorgeous Scrape, then it would pop. Okay, but I kind of struggling with this one. So let's do this together. I have our Stampin' spritzers. And what you do with this when you're spritzing is you fill it up, and you can see I've used quite a bit of it. So you fill this up with rubbing alcohol, like the 70%. And then I used my refills, And this is Blackberry Bliss, and this is Starry Sky. I can tell the difference just because, you know, I'm right here. But you add your, let me just take this apart. These work really good. Okay, so you fill it up with your rubbing alcohol. And again, I just used the 70%. And then I added, for the Blackberry Bliss, I added 10 drops of ink refill. And I started with 5, and that was just way too light. So then I went quite a bit darker, 50% darker, and chose this color. You can make it whatever you want. I thought when with the 5 drops, it kind of looked like our rich raspberry, which is a retired color. And then this Starry Sky, I made this at last March, I think, for one of my retreats, and I still have some in a bottle. I don't know as if this one's been in there for a long time. I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm not really sure if these spritzers will stain or not. No, I don't think they will, because I can see that white is kind of, the fluid is kind of going down. So it doesn't look like they'll stain. Maybe they'll stain up here. But in any event, what I want to do is I'm going to spritz right on the glass because I'm going to clean that up. That's my kind of goal here, is to, let's see how this glass mat studio works. I'm going to separate these. So on this card here, I used a combination of the Starry Sky and the Blackberry Bliss. So I squirted one color on, or spritzed one color, then I went back and forth until the color I liked. So I'm going to stand up to do this because you can't really do it sitting down. You need to be straight down on it. And you also have to be careful, find the hole where that comes out, because you don't want to spray it right in your face. Trust me, I've done that before. Okay, so I'm going to spritz straight down. Oops, see what I mean? Okay. And now I'm going to gravitate to the Blackberry Bliss. And I can smell the rubbing alcohol for sure. Oops, see, I didn't pay attention. Okay, now it is a wicked hot mess right now, but that's okay. I'm going to add some more Starry Sky to it. I'm just going to keep going back and forth to see whatever color I want. Again, I don't know if I'm going to go with this one. I'm just kind of trying it out. Okay, I think that is going to be good. So you're going to want tweezers to take these up. So let me grab my crafting tweezers. And you're going to need some kind of like tissue because this is super wet. And I just kind of like to take them up and kind of just put them, let's put them over here for right now because they're super wet. And then we'll put this over here. And then this butterfly here. Now they're going to dry. Again, they're going to take a little bit longer to dry. I noticed that last night because they're super saturated, even with the rubbing alcohol. It's very kind of thin paper too. So you just kind of want to give it some time. If it's still wet at the end when I want to use them, I'll just use my heat tool to dry them up. So I'm going to just take some of this off with my tissue. That way my, what do you want to call that thing? You can tell I worked today. I can't remember a thing. Let's see, here we go. So I'm going to take my little cleaning rag, I'll call it cleaning rag, and I'm just going to clean this up. And I did kind of spray over here, but you can see how quickly this does clean up. Let me just move this. It does make some noise. I even got some on my desk here. But we're working with our water-based inks, so it should just come right up. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right, my rag on the other hand looks like a lot of Blackberry Bliss, plus my hands are like not looking so good. So I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit more and put that in its case. Am I like really crooked? Let me see. No, it's just the way things are laid out. Okay, so while those are drying, and you can already see this one is drying a little bit lighter now, okay? So we'll see if we like that or not. Now we're gonna start assembling our card. So we have to make sure this is dry. It's just got a little bit of water on it. Okay, and there's like no ink on that tissue. Okay, so I've got Highland Heather, which is another nice purple color, one of my favorite purples. If I had to choose, this would be my favorite. Out of like the Fresh Freesia and Gorgeous Scrape and then Highland Heather, this is my favorite. All right, so we've got this, again, it's 8.5 across, 5.5 by 4, and that's where I just kind of folded and burnished it with my bone folder. And then the other thing I wanted to see is, let's reverse these just to see what it's kind of gonna look like if we do something different. And I kind of like to do that once in a while to figure out if I like one way versus the other. So let me just grab that other kit so I can get that spare die cut. Okay, we'll work with this one because this was my original thought. So this one is cut 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, so a square. And then this one's just a little bit smaller than that because we're going to adhere it back on the back side. But before I do that, I'm just gonna kind of play with it right now. This will also be, oops, we also need our Blackberry Bliss. So these will be adhered to Blackberry Bliss with just about 1/8 of an inch border, a very small border. So then that will go there. And then let's do my stamping, and that way we'll have this done. Very, very small words. Thank you for your friendship. And I used Blackberry Bliss ink. So that is our, that little small panel you'll see. I wanted to go with a different color just in case you don't have Gorgeous Scrape in your craft room and you have Blackberry Bliss, then this will work too. What you want to do is you want to center this the best you can on this really, really thin piece of Highland Heather. And let me see if I can do that. It's not too bad. Okay, my first time. It's a little bit to the left, but I think that's okay. We're going to close this up because that's all the stamping for this one. Very simple stamping. All right, then what I would do is kind of put these together like this. Ooh. And then the butterfly, this is going to be hard to do because it's still damp. I'm not going to pretend that that butterfly is in there, I guess. And then here is the sentiment that goes across. So that was, oh, I think, you know what? I think I'm going to like it this way instead. I don't know if you can tell or not. But this one, I think, is too light for the middle. And let me zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see a little bit better. And it looks like I need to move this up a little bit. So this one's darker. This one's much lighter pattern. So I'm pretty sure the left one is the way I want to go. What do you guys think? Number 1 or number 2? Pretend that there's a butterfly under there though. I don't have one spritzed, and this one's too wet. So you guys vote and let me know what you think on your side. This is the lighter Highland Heather pattern, so it's this one here. And then on the other one, it's just the reverse side. So I can go either way with this pattern. Do you want me to do number 1? Okay, number 1 works. And that's what we're gonna do. Thank you, because that's the way I wanted to go too. All right, we can assemble this one real quick. It's, again, quite easy to do this. So we'll just add our, this one gets adhered straight on to the card front. And it's edge to edge. So I think this was cut 2 by 5.5. So you can get quite a few strips out of your 12 by 12 designer paper. And it's a little bit too long, so let me grab my paper snips just to trim that off. Okay. Okay, and this is directional too, so make sure you're putting your paper on correctly. Now, we are also we're gonna, let me dry these because then we can use them. Because I'm afraid if I use them now, they're just the ink's gonna go right onto the paper, the white paper especially. So let me grab my heat tool. I'm using the Stampin' Up! Heat tool, and I just gotta plug it in. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the first setting. This has 2 settings, but I don't want these kind of blown all over. So it's a 1 and a 2. I'm gonna move it to 1, actually 2. I'm gonna heat it up, and then I'll probably switch it back to 1 so there's not as much air. Okay, and then I'm just gonna hold the paper with my tweezers so it doesn't go flying everywhere. And then I'm going to flip it because I want to make sure I get both sides. Okay, so that one's dry. That's great. And let's do this big piece here. This was basic white. Kind of looks like rich raspberry on my side. When I am drying this, it is a little bit lighter, by the way. And we'll flip this one over. The paper has curled a little bit, but there's nothing really you can do about that. And then our last butterfly. Okay. So you can use either side of butterfly because it really doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong side on these. So you can have it flying this way, or we can have it flying off to the left. So this side is a little bit more purple. And then this butterfly here, so I don't know if you can, I think you can see them better if I put them just on the tissue. And then here's the piece we spritzed. I got a little bit of spritzing on this white here, just want you to know. And it looks like splatter, and it actually tamed down the white just enough. So maybe the white will be still the way to go. But we know that we want this side showing, so I'm gonna adhere this down. And let's just layer this right on top of the Blackberry Bliss. And the designer paper was 3 3/4 and by 3 3/4 square, and then it's layered on a piece of Blackberry Bliss that's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, next step is, this one's also going to have some dimensionals on it, so let's get our height going. Got to make it just like the other one to be fair. Okay, so that one, I'm going to put, I need another sheet of dimensionals because I just used the last piece. Okay, so press those down. I'm not going to take those backings off yet. So then that's going to look like this. And then the butterfly. So I'm just going to place this on here. Wait a minute. Did I do something wrong? No, I didn't. Okay. I'm going to place this on there just because I need to know where that butterfly is going to go and what side I'm going to use. Oh, I'm going to use the other side. Okay. All you need is just a tiny bit of liquid glue just on the body. That's all you need. So I'm going to just put this back in here because I want it in the middle. And then I can take the white off. For some reason, this is bending up. Okay, so again, we'll put this back down. And now I am going to not adhere, I'm just, oh, this is horrible. I can already tell this isn't gonna work. That's not working for me whatsoever. So we will not use this color, okay? Totally not getting that one. So that one's off. And then let's put that gorgeous grape on there just to see what that looks like. That's what gorgeous grape looks like. Let me just put this on here so you kind of see it all together. Hopefully you can see that. It's like way too close to you guys. And then the white. The white is going to kind of look like this. And I think I still need to go with the white, but I'm going to still change it up. Okay, I am going to take, and I should have done this probably first, but I thought that maybe if we softened up the corners, then it might look better. Okay, so I've got my corner rounder. And I'm just going to round, I'm going to start with 2 of the corners. Wait a minute. Yes, I want to do both. I'm going to do opposite sides. Start there. And then I'm going to, if that doesn't look right, then I will punch out all 4 corners. I think I'm going to punch round every single corner. This really does smooth it out. If you do not have a corner rounder, you can use a circle punch, and then that will do the same kind of thing. I would try to use like a 1-inch punch or something very small. Okay, so now I know what's going to go where. I can take my backings off the dimensionals. Okay, and then this is going to get centered on the front. Oh wait, no, I got a corner around these. Just to get those left on. Now I can add it on. What I want to do is I want to make sure it's centered. The top and the bottom are equal, and then the left and right side. Now this is the time you're going to want to add the Wink of Stella, just because it's easier to do it this way. So what I do is I take my Wink of Stella and I kind of just lightly brush it over the body of the butterfly. I think mine needs a little bit more rubbing alcohol to get some more of that glitter out. I reused my Wink of Stellas, and I suggest that you do that too. If you get to the end of your bottle, make sure you take it apart and add like about 2 teaspoons of rubbing alcohol, the 70%, put it in there and then put it all back together. There's so much glitter left over that you can use your Wink of Stella for a long time. Just a little tip. Okay, next is we're going to place this one on, and you're going to want to put the glue right on the edge of the white. This is where your liquid glue comes in handy. And I'm putting a little bit more on the corners just because there's a little bit more white there, and I don't want it to like, I want it to be flat. I don't want it to like buckle or anything like that. So then this, I'm gonna put these wings up, scoot this in, and there should be just a little border. I should have rounded the corner of the designer paper first, but because I've got just a little bit showing, but that's okay. Okay. Next, we're going to take our sentiment and we are going to raise this one up with our dimensionals. Mini dimensionals work really good with paper this size. But you can also use your edge pieces, which I will do for this. So I'm just going to cut a few on the sides. You can also cut one of these, the regular size dimensionals, in half. Okay, so I'm going to put one on that end. And then I'm going to put one on this end. That way I can make sure that they're balanced and get away with just 3 of these little pieces rather than 4. Okay, so those are pressed down good. And I'm just going to peel these off. And now I want to make sure that this sentiment is in the middle of this little butterfly. So I'm just going to, I know that the purple Highland Heather is going to be on the edge of the white. There. I also struggled as to where I need to put that sentiment because it was really hard. It didn't look good down here. It didn't look good up top or lower. So I said, let's put it straight across. And that's really the only place where I could have put it. All right, so now that we've got the front almost done, we still need to add our embellishments, but I always like to do that last. I'm going to work on the inside of the card. Okay, so this one looks like this. I used a different size butterfly. As you can see, this one's a lot bigger than this one here. So let's see. I've got my basic white, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a little strip of the designer paper. And I have another little strip of the Blackberry Bliss. So this one here is about, I think it's 1/2 inch. And then the Blackberry Bliss could be, no, actually that designer paper is less than 1/2 inch because that Blackberry Bliss looks like it's 1/2 inch. I just used my leftover strips, so I don't usually measure them. All right, and then this is going to go on here. You can stamp a message on the inside if that's what you want to do. I'm adding the extra element of the butterfly. Okay, decide which way you want it going and which side you want spritzed or was spritzed. Now you can also probably take your Wink of Stella now and add it before it goes on to the white. That way you're not getting it all over your paper as well. It's just on the purple on the butterfly. You just got to be careful because it's very thin, detailed butterfly. You don't want to tear the paper. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add, look for the part of the butterfly that has the most paper. And we just add really, really small amounts of liquid glue. And I'm just kind of dotting it here and there. It's okay if the edges come up because that way you can see maybe that butterfly is flying off your paper. So now I focus on this wing up here and I want it to hit up in this corner. And I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. And then you can take a block to push this down. And then we'll just add our liquid glue to the back side of the white. And this looks really nice on the inside. Oh, let me just make sure that, yep, that looks pretty good. Just gotta see one thing. No, okay. All right, looking good so far. The last thing is our embellishments here. The color I want to choose probably is the Highland Heather because that's kind of the dominant color in the card. So let me grab my piercing tool, and the Highland Heather ones are up here. I would choose, I think I added 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. On the other ones I used Blackberry Bliss. But this one I'm going to choose Highland Heather. Now on the die here, there's some little circles that are a little bit larger than the other ones. So I'm going to use the largest gem and probably put 2 of those. Find 2 of the larger circles. One up here. And now I'm going to take the smaller gem. So I'm going to get that one in the center. And we're going to kind of look and see where these will go the best. So 1, 2, let's put this one over here. 3, 4, and then where's that last one going to go? Probably over here. Let's put it right under that wing. Oops. There we go. Okay, you can also kind of lift up the butterfly if you want to get it off the paper a little bit. Because it's not stuck down, it's only stuck down on the body. Okay, so I already know which one I like. All right, so we're going to put these side by side. You can decide number 1 or number 2. You can add that in the comment section. Oh, thank you, Kathy, about the irresistible bloom dies. That is correct. Thank you. Number 2, Carla says. Alice says 2. Anybody else? Let's see, we get one more vote. I always like to get 3 votes. Can we go 2, 2, and 2? Yes, all right. So number 2, I agree. This one looks very harsh because of the squareness. This one looks much better with the rounded corners. Much better. This one actually, this butterfly is a lot darker than this one as well. But I haven't used this die either. So I've used a couple things that I've had in my craft room for the first time with this card club. Okay, so we can recap, and then if you want to stick around, I am going to, let's see, it's 8:17. I have to do this anyway. So I'm going to make my sampler chart, which I always do with designer paper. I'm just going to get these kind of matched up here. Let's see. I'll show you one of the samplers that I have already done. This is the one I had for you on my last video. It's really, really tight because there's so many different colors here. So I really had to scrunch up the paper, but I wanted these strips big enough so we could see all those birds, and it just looked a little bit better. So I had to add some basic black in between just so we could see what goes with what. Okay. Let's see. All right, there's no comments. So, hey Louise, nice to see you here. Okay, so I'm gonna create this, and I've got it up here, so just bear with me, I gotta find it. I am gonna go over the paper with you as well. Okay. The cardstock that goes with the Perennial Lavender, I fan it all out like this when I design. I get all my cardstock that's in that paper. I fan it out. There's a lot here. I think there's 10 different colors, 9. Okay, so that's kind of like a fan, so I can see all the colors, and then I work that way. If I want to use this, say I want to use this sheet here. How about this one? This will be better. So if I want to use this sheet around the edge, all I need to do is just kind of put this up against the edge of the paper to see which color I like that it's gonna look good. Okay, so I just kind of go slowly around. I can totally eliminate some right off the bat, like Berry Burst. So that's kind of how I do it. There's another color, Starry Sky there. Now I think for this sheet, the Gorgeous Grape goes real nice. My top colors would be Gorgeous Grape and Shaded Spruce. No. Pretty Peacock and Starry Sky. Starry Sky is in this butterfly, so I want to pull some of that Starry Sky out of the butterfly. So that's kind of how I design. Those are all the colors in your Perennial Lavender paper. They say that Crumb Cake's not on here, but that is kind of what the background color is. All right, now I'm going to show you the pages of the designer paper. So this one is kind of, you know, Stampin' Up! Is kind of doing this thing once in a while where they don't have anything in the middle. They kind of have it half and half. So these would make really nice card fronts if I was to use them as a card front. So that's one side. And then the other side is got these little checks here. And this one here has the white flowers there. And I really like this side. This one is one of my favorites. That white flower I'm calling Queen Anne's lace. And then here's this. And for Card Club, I did not use any of the lighter Crumb Cake designs. I like totally gravitated to the purples. I like this pattern too. It's just so elegant. You can see I only have a little bit left. And this is kind of the same thing, except for they're just using different colors. And then I love this side too. Okay, so that's the designer paper. And now what I do is I use Microsoft Word. And I type this up. So I always put what the name of the paper is. This is Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper. I like a fancy font. That's just me. Then I'll say which catalog it's in, mini catalog January to April 2024. Then I list all the colors that are in the paper that are also found on the back side of the big white, like the shipping kind of packaging paper. It lists all the colors here too. They're in alphabetical order. I like that. And then I have the item number, I have the page, and I have the price. That way, when I'm teaching a class, I can just take this out. I don't have to memorize anything. It's all there. Okay, and now the next thing I do is I've already cut these ahead of time. And I also, how I put the paper down is the way they have it in one of the catalogs, or the catalog itself. I just kind of look at how they have it laid out. So on this, I went across, and that's how I'm going to place them on my paper. So I'm just going to, this is like a deck of cards. Okay, so those two go together. And these two. And I got to make sure the patterns are going the correct way, because I don't want them upside down. And then, let's see, this way. Oh, wait a minute. I got to zoom out. Hold on. Sorry about that. So this goes there, this goes here, these two together, and then this one. Okay, next up is I'm gonna find the cardstock, and I've already punched these out. I use 1 1/4 inch circles, and these are in alphabetical order. So I'm just gonna push these up a little bit. I always put my colors down at the bottom, generally speaking. I'm just going to take this off. I need all my glass. Now this is not going to fit all the way across, okay? So I'm going to have to go up this way, just like I did on the other one. So many colors. I love the color options, but it really makes it hard to create these little sheets here. So now I just got to kind of figure out how much space I'm going to have left over if I put them together, kind of like the other one. I think I might be able to sneak one more circle down here. Yes. Okay, so then I only have 2 that are going up that side. So that's basically what it's going to look like. And now I'm going to start with, let's see. Yes, I did the paper first. So I'm going to restack these, because then they'll be in order, alphabetical order. And let me clip these together, so I don't want those all crazy. All right, and I use liquid glue for this, and I also have to stand up. Let me grab that other one. So what I did was I started over here on the left side, and I went edge to edge. On this one, I'm going to push it over just a little bit because I do have some white over here, and that way it doesn't have to be lined up on the edge. Okay, these are going to go down so they're out of the way. I'm just working on this side here. Sometimes they turn out really good, and sometimes they can be a little bit crooked. If you really want to get precise, then you'll have to get your ruler out and make all kinds of like marks on your paper, on your basic white. So then I'm just kind of matching these up with a little space in between. And I think this is already crooked. I don't know. And this has about, it's like less than a quarter of an inch. Oops, wrong side. Oh, I should have used this one because of those, the Queen Anne's lace, I'll call it. Oh well. I try to get as much of the pattern in the paper as possible. I'm going to go with the darker color here. Again, I'm just eyeballing this and hope it goes straight. And then just be careful of your directional papers. So that should be plenty of room for this, the cardstock circles. And then we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to leave about the same measurement, the gap that I have here between the two. And I also like to create mine horizontally. That way you can see it on your side. Because if I had a portrait, then it's a little bit harder to show on camera. This one's a little bit off, I can tell, but it's okay. Okay, so that is our paper. Okay, now the cardstock. So right now, I'm just going to place these. If I wanted to be like really, like I say, organized, you could center these circles in between the designer paper with a little bit of gap, or you can put them closer. Totally up to you. I'm going to put them closer because, well, let me see. If I put them closer, oh, my hand's got glue on it. I can put one more down here, and then I would have these here. And then I would have a lot more white space up here. So if I put them right underneath each pattern, let's see what we got. you kind of have it like this. Oh, my hands are all sticky. Kind of like that. I kind of like it closer together because I think it looks really crowded and I need that white space up there. So next thing I need to do is just, I'm going to eyeball it. I'm using about the same border that I have up here with the designer paper. So we have Berry Burst, and then Blackberry Bliss, and then we have Fresh Freesia. There's going to be a test at the end of this video. Do you remember your colors? Gorgeous Grape, and then Highland Heather, Lost Lagoon, Starry Sky. Oh, this is not in the right order. Shoot. Lost Lagoon or Orchid Oasis. Okay, this one has to go up there. I'm glad I caught myself. Orchid Oasis. Pretty Peacock. Shaded Spruce. And then Starry Sky. Okay, so see how quick and easy that was? Okay, I think that looks really nice. It's really sticky right now. It's kind of went really quickly. I've got some glue here. I'm just going to use my glue adhesive eraser to fix that a little bit later. But that's how I make my sheets. Now, when I come to another video live, I don't have to bring out the 12 by 12s. I can just bring this out, and it's much easier for me to showcase everything all together on one piece of 8.5 by 11. So that's my little sampler. Have you guys ever done that? If you haven't, once I get mine all done, I'd be happy to send the Word documents. They'll be in a PDF, so the formatting stays together, but I'm still working on this. And I'd be happy to send this out. If you're on my email list, I will be sending it out automatically once I have them all done. Because I still got to add all that text up there. So make sure you're on my email list if you would like to have these copies in the near future. I'm going to be working on my paper share, my product share. That order came in today. So those I'm hoping to get out the door by Saturday. So I know some of you watching did place your product share order. To recap what we made tonight, we made all of these sweet cards, and we decided to change this one here into this one with the rounded corners. Much better. Okay, so this is Card Club. Okay, you can register by the 20th of January and be included for the Perennial Lavender. And then you'll make 2 of these cards. You'll make 2 of these. Okay, here's 2. Actually 3, because I've got 3 samples. Here's another one. That's a Blackberry Bliss. You've got the envelopes. And then we have this one here. I don't know if I'm on camera or not. I gotta take a peek. Nope. Let me just slide these up. That's what happens when you're sitting down. You can't quite see and hover over your camera. Okay, so that is Card Club Designs. And again, you don't have to use the pattern of paper that I used. You can switch it up because you're going to have 6 by 12 sheets, 2 of each, and you can cut whatever paper you want. And you'll be also getting 9 extra sheets of cardstock on top of what you see here to, you know, jazz it up on your side. Plus you can make extra cards and use up that designer paper. So that's Card Club. Again, $39.95 is my pricing. I did say last month and gave warnings that it would be increasing, and I did have to do that just because postage, and there's been lots of price increases in paper products. The other thing was I don't know what I did with it. My ordering special, here it is. All right, it's over here, the cutest cows. So cute. We're going to be making, well, this is our make and take, our tea make and take for our meeting Wednesday. But with a $35 order, you can receive one kit each of the cutest cows. And this is kind of a fun fold. And then on the back side, we covered up the Stampin' blends that bled through with just a piece of the designer paper. Flight and Airy is that paper. It's free during celebration. And then here's my favorite one out of all of them, just because I love these little flowers. And then that's in the inside, a little crooked, but that's how it goes. And then you'll also be sponging with, I'll give you a cutout of the cloud punch, and then you'll be able to use your blending tools to create the clouds. And then we got two cute little cows there. And then I carried over the flower to the inside, and that's the envelope. And then we have a little treat holder. Can use anything to put in there as long as it fits. It uses minimal products, and you could sell this at craft fairs, give it to a coworker, your grandchildren, whoever, maybe your UPS man. I've been giving him lots of treats lately, but only if he comes to my house. He's going to drive up the driveway. I never see him when he drops off packages at the mailbox. So anyway, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. My email address is Karen@inspiredbygram.com. And let me just see if there's any questions. Doesn't look like there is. So I'm going to sign off and clean up my craft room to make the template that goes with Card Club. So I have that handy right at my hand's use. So thank you so much for watching. If you would love to give me a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. You can share this video to your friends and family. Would be another appreciation. I tried to hit my $100,000 in sales this year, and I'm just a little bit over 11,000 to go. So I'm trying to get to that by December 31st, 2024, and anything you can do to help out would be greatly appreciated. You can place an order on my online store, which is inspiredbygram.com. Hit the shop now. You can join Card Club. That's another way. Or just take part in my retreats, any of my classes, my ordering specials, whatever you can do. So thanks so much for stopping by. I do appreciate you, and have a great week.